so excited. I feel like usually we're together, Lupe, in the den, but
We're switching it up right now. I'm with Lupe Cruz, who is a certified midwife over at LDS Hospital. We're talking about an important topic, which is when you're pregnant, eating. You'd think it wouldn't be so complicated, but your eating habits are so important, especially when you're pregnant. Why is that?
Well, you're providing nutrition for yourself and for your baby, and as your baby gets bigger, it requires more.
So at different stages of your pregnancy, are you supposed to be eating different amounts?
Right, so when we're talking about the amount that you eat, the first trimester, you really don't have to change your amount. You don't need more. The second trimester, about 340 extra calories, and the third trimester, about 450.
So it's interesting because everyone says you're eating for two. Right when I see that pregnancy test, I'm going to get 2 donuts because I know now I'm eating for 2, but that's not necessarily the case.
Right, right. That's a myth. You don't want to eat for 2. That will actually cause you to gain more weight than you need to gain.
Well, and I feel like we were talking about how during the first trimester, a lot of the time people aren't having much of an appetite.
Right.
So then they make up for it in the next trimester. And how does that usually turn out?
Well, what can happen is you can have excess weight gain, which puts you at risk for gestational diabetes, for elevated blood pressure, which are all concerning. Gestational diabetes can make it so that your baby is bigger. So it'd be harder when you go to deliver if you're trying to deliver a bigger baby.
Well, that would definitely be a harder thing to be doing. So how should you be eating? Like, how many times a day are you supposed to be eating when you're pregnant? Is it the same as when you aren't pregnant?
Actually, it is. You should be eating about 6 times a day, which is your 3 regular meals and 3 snacks in between. It's better to eat throughout the day, keep that blood sugar level at a very stable level rather than wait till you're really hungry. The blood sugar drops, increases nausea and vomiting. If you're just eating throughout the day, about every 3 hours or 3 to 4 hours, it keeps that stable. And that's really how we should eat all the time, not just when you're pregnant.
So we know when we should be eating now, but what should we be eating when we're pregnant?
So what you want to eat are things like lean meats, fruits and vegetables, of course your dairy. You want to eat things that are healthy calories, that aren't empty calories. You don't want to eat high sugar, high calorie foods like your donut. Although you can do that once in a while, you don't want to always do that because that's definitely going to add to your caloric intake.
Well, and another important thing you're supposed to be doing is drinking water. Why is that so especially important when you're pregnant?
Well, you want to drink water at all times. 1 to 2 liters is important while you're pregnant. It can prevent preterm contractions, preterm labor. Anyone who's a runner or who does exercises on a regular basis knows if you're not hydrated, your muscles will cramp. Well, your uterus is just one big muscle, and it cramps, so you'll feel like you're having preterm labor pains. You can also get urinary tract infections more if you're not well hydrated. So all of that, you want to make sure and get plenty of water.
Plenty of water, but also plenty of food. We talk about your body's changing so much when you're pregnant. Lots of times people are overeating, but lots of times they're actually undereating too.
Right. We do have the people who worry about gaining too much weight. And so they'll skip meals or maybe skimp. And pregnancy is not the time to be dieting. It's not the time to be skipping meals. If you skip meals, you will get nauseous and maybe even vomit. And it just increases that nausea and vomiting that you get anyways when you're pregnant.
Lupe, thank you for being here. And for more information of what you can do to keep your baby healthy during your pregnancy, go to ldshospital.org/healthyliving. Thanks so much for being here today.